Hi everyone! In this video, we'll be talking about measures of central tendency. This might sound confusing and complicated at first, but don't worry. Measures of central tendency is just a fancy name for something more familiar. Mean, median, and mode. When we're talking about mean, median, and mode, lots of questions can pop up. What do they mean? How do we find them? Why do we need them? Which ones should we pick? The list can go on and on. In order to keep things simple, we'll talk about them one at a time. Let's start with the mean. What does the mean mean? The mean tells us that if everyone shared evenly, the mean is the amount that everyone would have. When should we find the mean? The mean is best to use when all of the data is close together. This is because if we have even one result that's either much higher or much lower than all of our other results, our mean will change a lot. So, it's best to find the mean when all of the data is close together. Now, I know this sounds super confusing, so let's put an example to it. How do we find the mean? Let's say we have a class of 4th grade students and a box of cookies. Every student gets to pull out a handful of cookies from the box. Well, since some kids have bigger hands than others, not everyone will get the same amount of cookies. Now that everyone has some cookies, let's figure out the mean. We want to know the average amount of cookies that the students pulled out. In other words, we want to find out how many cookies everyone would have if they shared their cookies with each other evenly. We could have everyone give their cookies back and then pass out the cookies one at a time, but that would take forever. Instead, we can just calculate the mean. To calculate the mean, we need to add up all the numbers of cookies each student pulled out. Once we have them all added up, we need to divide by the number of students we have. 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. This equals 21. We have 7 students, so we need to divide 21 by 7. This equals 3, which means our mean must be 3. Since Johnny has one more cookie than Sarah, Johnny can give Sarah one of his cookies. Now everyone has the same amount. This means our mean must be 3 cookies. Alright, so we talked about the mean. Now let's talk about the median. What does the median mean? When we line up all of the numbers from least to greatest, the median is the number in the middle of all of the ordered numbers. When should we find the median? The median is best to use when there are a few numbers that are pretty far from the rest of the numbers. This is because we're finding the number right in the middle of all of them. The median is not as affected by crazy numbers as the mean is. Because we're finding the number in the middle, half of our results will be less than or equal to our median, and half of our results will be greater than or equal to our median. Let's come back to our 4th grade class. How do we find the median? In this example, we want to find out the average height of the students in this class. Since Jack and Bobby are so much taller than the rest of the students, the mean isn't going to work very well. Let's find the median. First, we need to line all of the students up by height from least to greatest. Next, we need to find the middle of the line of students. To do this, let's take the ends of the line away one pair of students at a time. Congratulations! We just found the median. The height of the only student we have left standing up is the median of the height of all of the students in this class. Our median in this group is Kyle's height, which is 4 feet 5 inches, which means that half the class is shorter than Kyle, and half the class is taller than Kyle. Finally, let's talk about the mode. What does the mode mean? The mode is the most commonly occurring piece of data. When should we find the mode? The mode is best to use when we're trying to find the most common result. How do we find the mode? It's very simple to find the mode. All we need to do is count how many times each result appears. Let's come back to our 4th grade class. In this example, we're trying to figure out the most common favorite color in our class. Here are all of the responses the kids gave us. Blue, red, green, pink, purple, and white. Next, we need to organize our list. We need to make sure we group all of the same responses together. Now, we need to count how many times each response appears. As you can see, the group with the most responses is red, so our mode is red. You might be asking, what happens if we have more than one most popular answer? The answer is simple. Let's say Kayla changed her mind and changed her answer to purple. Now we have two popular colors with the same amount of responses. This just means that we have two modes. It's really as simple as that. In this video, we talked about the three measures of central tendency: mean, median, and mode. We learned what they each mean, when we should use each one, and how to calculate each one. Hopefully, after watching this video, you realized that finding the measures of central tendency isn't as hard as you first thought.